Johnny G, how you going, man?
Hey KP, good man yourself.
Not the best since we're on a Man United show. If we can't be that good,
It's always it's always gloomy,
it's
isn't
always
it?
depressing coming on to the
It
Man
is.
United show.
Jeez, we can't even beat Watford, you know.
Oh no,
Jeez.
so we got. I guess we got in the heading. We got two things we can talk about. The first one we'll talk about. Let's talk about the Champions League, I guess. What did you think of what did you think of the Atleti game?
I think we were lucky that Atletico are just as bad as us. We played very poorly. It didn't look like a Champions League game, to be fair. Um, you know, we never looked like scoring. Even Alanga's goal was sort of a lucky one. But you look, I'll take the 1-1 result. But yeah, you know, either team didn't look like they wanted to win. But you know, 1-1 away from home, you can't complain of that result.
No, yeah, I thought it was pretty bad. I said to you, I think it was one of the worst performances I've ever seen by us in Europe. It was so bad. Like we went out with no intensity. It was just, I don't know what they were thinking. They were thinking that Atletico were not going to come out and like be intense or something. I don't know what it was. It was so bad. And then we get the draw, so I thought, okay, we got the draw on that now. And then I guess it'll push us on to our next topic. And then I thought, well, this we can build on this against Watford, and that just went down the drain. But the big man is here. He says 603 subs. He says, "Wow,
Yes, thank you to all the 603
there's
subs.
isn't it?
Wow,
Isn't it? All these subs, I don't know where they've come from. They've come out of nowhere, but it's good.
it's all happening. It's all
It's
happening.
all happening. Everything's happening down at HFD.
Yes, and please join us on Wednesday night. Is that correct?
Wednesday night, yes, Wednesday night. Anyone that's watching, I don't know how many people are watching. I'm not in that scene at the moment, but Wednesday night is the night to watch.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll go on to the Watford game since we touched on Atletico a little bit, but that was almost a week ago. We go to Watford. We I don't know how we put it. We got the fans got what they wanted. Ranić dropped Maguire. Everyone wanted that,
Mm,
and I actually thought the defense played really
mm.
well without him. But then we just couldn't. What happened? We just couldn't score. What? It,
Yeah, I mean, to sum it up, yeah, we couldn't score. We had plenty of opportunities, good opportunities as well. I think, yeah, just Ronaldo's a little bit out of form at the moment, and yeah, Bruno missed a couple
he was
sitters,
worse. Everyone's blaming Ronaldo, but I
and
think he was a more worse culprit, wasn't he?
yeah, I think Bruno had
Yeah,
the
oh,
better
definitely.
chance to score. But saying that, yeah, you don't put your chances away. You need to score to win, and obviously we didn't score. But defensively, we look good without
Yeah, it was
Maguire
way
there.
better.
I think you know what I mean. So it's something to look forward. I don't know if he's resting players. Are we playing Atletico
Nah, I don't
midweek?
think we played for two weeks. So,
No, okay.
and we're not in
No,
the cup.
well,
Like it was the Carling Cup, like Liverpool, Chelsea went out. We don't play for like 8 days or something. So I don't know what. Obviously he dropped. He admitted to dropping him. He said I dropped him. So yeah,
just
he
drop
said he
Maguire.
wasn't. I didn't think he was right for the game or something. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that could be the start
yeah,
of something because you know, I think the 80 million price tag is really makes him shitter if you
yeah.
know what I mean. Like, so he's never going to live up to that. So, but it was a good decision by Rangnick. The defense looked good. We did control the game. We just couldn't put our chances away, and Watford hanged in there for the important draw for
Yeah,
them.
that's it. Well, Rob says Pep has used more subs than 603. There you go, Rob. And then Reborn says hello. How you doing, Reborn?
Yeah,
Congrats on the
lads.
Liverpool win. They got their milk cup. That's good.
Yeah, what happened there? Did Kepa miss the
He did.
penalty?
It went down. It was like the United game
Um,
with De Gea. It went to yeah, and he
11,
missed.
11,
Yeah,
10 or something like that.
yeah.
Jeez.
Like we say there, that's the scrutiny of United. If that was United when it happened in the Europa Cup, how much scrutiny did De Gea cop? Not saying a word about Kepa.
Yeah.
You know,
You miss a penalty in a penalty shootout, man.
you're a goalkeeper. You know,
Yeah,
like
you know what I mean. Jeez. But there you go. It just goes to show you the Man United on the back page, no matter win,
Yeah,
lose,
that's
or
right.
draw.
Rob
Mm.
says Fernandes should have squared the ball to CR7 but went for glory, cost United the game. I agree. He was in acres. Ronaldo was there. He could have squared it to him. Ronaldo could have had a touch and scored. Like
Mm.
it was real bad. Considering Bruno's not a striker, like he's a midfielder, you'd think he'd be looking to pass, but he just, yeah, he went. I agree. He went for glory. Team Adelaide's in the chat. Hey, go on, Team Adelaide. We'll just say he says
Hey,
go the
team.
Crows. We're just saying
Go to
make sure everyone
Crows.
comes on Wednesday for our battle with Team Adelaide. It's going to be on TikTok before the podcast on Wednesday. So, and then Reborn is having a chuckle at my milk cup comment. Hey, it's
Hey, it's a trophy. We haven't won a trophy in three
oh,
years, I think.
I don't think so. Yeah, since the Europa Cup. Yeah, Mourinho.
We're starting to become like
We're getting
football,
there.
so
We're getting on board with them.
we're getting there. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can't blame the coach for the result. I think it was on
Yeah,
the
definitely.
players. He set up the game pretty well, and we did dominate in
Yeah,
my
we did.
view.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. If we got that first goal early on, I think the floodgates would have opened, and yeah, it never come. So
Yeah. Well, if you get that first goal, the game
unfortunate
changes,
because
doesn't it?
yeah, I think it would have the monkey off the back sort of thing, and it would have played a bit more confidence, and we probably would have put three or four past them. But you keep missing your chances, the nerves kick in, your confidence gets lower, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Rob says statue of Sir Alex unveiled at Aberdeen, and I actually saw that, Rob, that they put a statue of him at Aberdeen, right? And I remember I said to my dad, I think it was, I was like, I'm actually shocked that he didn't have one already there. Like
Well, he won the
he
the
won the
title there.
title, I think, 2 years in a row, and he won the European Cup Winners' Cup against Barcelona. So it was like it
No,
was massive.
so
It was
and
massive.
since he's left, Aberdeen
No,
haven't
I don't
done
think so. I don't
much.
think anyone's won it by Rangers or Celtic. I don't think so. I'm not sure. But, he broke the
Yeah,
stranglehold, which was huge, and won a
yeah,
European trophy with them against Barcelona. So,
yeah.
but yeah,
Just goes to show you can do it. You can do it
yeah,
without money
exactly.
as
I'm
well.
shocked. I said I'm shocked that he didn't have a statue already. It's crazy. Rob says United totally dominated, no defensive gaps. Rashford and Sancho should have started with a question mark, he's saying. I think Sancho should have for sure.
Yeah, Sancho, but not Rashford.
He's
Rashford's
out of
out of
touch, isn't
form.
he?
He needs to be dropped. So, but Sancho, yeah, I was surprised with Sancho because he's been playing pretty well. He's coming into a bit of form. So, because that's why I maybe thought we are playing midweek with Atletico. He's dropped a few key
Yeah.
players, but yeah, if that's not the case, then I mean February was a busy month for us. Um, so a bit of fatigue in some of the lads. I'm not
Yeah, that's
sure.
what I was thinking. Maybe because Sancho obviously hadn't played a lot, but he started 6 games in a row. Maybe he needed a rest. You don't know. He's only young, so
Yeah, he's only 22,
21. I
isn't he?
think they
Something
said
like
he
that.
was the youngest. They were talking about it against Watford, and I think they were saying he's only 21. He's only a kid.
We'll spend another 80 million for
Yeah, of
Bellingham soon.
course. When we could have got him for 20. Rob says won 8 trophies in 11 years at Aberdeen. There you go. Oh, proof's in the pudding, in it.
Wow, there you go. He should have had a trophy a long time ago. I mean,
Yeah.
statue, sorry.
Reborn says for all the
Mm.
crap we give Fred, I honestly think Fernandez is the weak link. A lot of people say it
Well,
too.
defensively, Fernandez isn't the
Nah.
best. You know what I mean? But he's our creative spark. So he tries the ball that no one else tries. I know he gives the ball a lot most of the time, but he does put in a decent ball
Yeah.
now and then. But at least he's got the balls, let's say, to do this sort of
Yeah, yeah.
creativeness, and he's not afraid to try something instead of the sideways passing we're used to with McTominay
Yeah.
and Matic. But to be fair, Matic actually
I thought he
played
was our
pretty
best
good.
player.
Yeah, he dominated that midfield, something that we've lacked for a long time. I just wish we had a younger
Yeah, I
Matic.
agree.
So
I think
yeah,
the thing is with Fernandez, it's like you see, like you said, he gives the ball away and that, but then you look at his stats. I mean, he scores goals, he gets assists, and apparently he's leading the league in like chances created. So all the stats point. that he's doing well, but sometimes stats can be misleading. I guess it's like
He's probably leading in the most to
yeah,
give the ball
exactly. So
away.
he'd be leading in those stats as well. Like it's
Mhm.
hard with him, but yeah, I don't know. You got it's, the thing about Fernandez, same with Ronaldo, is if say they're not scoring or getting assists, it's like there's no point to them. If that makes sense. Like they don't do
Yeah.
much else. Usually Ronaldo is there to get you 30 goals. If they're not giving him the ball like that one with Fernandez, if he's not cutting it to him for him to score, I know it's a bit of a probably a weird comment to say, yeah, but what's he doing if he's not scoring goals? But then he doesn't touch the
Mm.
ball, I don't think. I don't know about you, but it's just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Um, it is what it is. We've got a lot of unrest players
yeah,
at the moment, and worried about Ronaldo's mind at the moment. I think he's got one eye looking at the door
I
at the
think so
moment.
too. Isn't
So
it funny? They said in 13 years, it's been his longest run without a goal, and it was 5 games. So,
it was always going to happen coming
oh,
back to
of
United to
course,
this team. So we can't kill his career because his career's
done.
already
That's right.
done and glorified. But if you're a young
Oh,
talent, you know,
if you were a young talent
yeah,
now,
I'd
I'll
watch out.
put that question to you. Say you're a young talent out there, you're Jude Bellingham, something. United comes for you, or City comes for you, or Liverpool. I'm a United fan.
I'd
I'm
probably
going to
go.
United. I'm a United fan, but other than that, I ain't going there.
I'd probably go. I'd probably go Liverpool because I'd probably
Yeah,
at the time.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
Rob says Fernandez can make something happen out of nothing. That's his thing.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
that's his role, isn't it? You know what I mean? So he won't get crucified for unless he's really playing stupid ball all
yeah.
the time and just playing awful. Then yeah, you know what I mean. Criticize him, but
But
yeah,
I do agree with Reborn that I actually thought he was probably our worst player against Watford because if you factor everything in, the chances missed, how he was given the ball, he was our
yeah, he
worst player.
missed.
I thought anyway.
Like Rob said as well, he should have squared the ball to Ronaldo and he should have put away a
Yeah.
goal.
Even the header, I thought he should have done better with the
It's the
header.
Yeah, definitely that was an easy header to control. Should have done a lot better actually.
Like
So
it pains you to think, they're bottom, I think, or second to bottom, and like we can't score against them at home.
well, we were
Yeah,
cutting
I
him
know.
open,
I
and
know.
yeah, it's just I thought, wow, this is going to be an easy 3 points here, but geez, it just as the game went on, you just felt like we're
The
never
longer it
scoring.
went without a goal, you got worried, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was like we're in trouble here. So that was a big 2 points missed, especially with Arsenal got 3 games in hand, and I think they're only 2 points
Yeah.
behind us. So, I mean, top four, we're in the top four, but you know, are we going to finish in
I
the top
mean,
four? I would say it's a 30% chance we will, 70%
yeah.
we
Well,
won't.
we've got Liverpool this month. I think Man City this with Man City in on the 7th.
I think Man City's
Yeah, on the
next.
7th of March they are. So I don't know when that come,
Okay.
but yeah, we got City, we got Liverpool, we got Atletico again. Arsenal have got the North London derby, and they've got to play all these teams too. But like it's just
They're playing
they
better
are
than
like
us at the
Rob's
moment.
saying, could just be
Mm.
one of those days, just missing those chances, and it very well
Yeah,
could be. But unfortunately,
you
when
could
you
chalk
need
that
to
up.
win, you need to win, don't you?
Yeah, and especially with all the drop points we've dropped against lesser teams. Well, I won't say lesser teams, lower in the
Yeah,
table teams that we should be doing better. We've dropped a lot of points, a lot of points. So we've dropped points to Burnley. So what's that? Burnley were in the bottom
Watford
three.
Watford beat us
Watford
4-0
in the
when
bottom
Ole got the
three.
sack, and we drew with them, so we've got 1 point against Watford.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're second at bottom. So um, there you go. Just goes to
yeah,
show the
that's right.
season we're having. So there's a lot of work to be done, and that's for
Yeah,
sure.
it's
So
well, so that touches in. You already spoke about it, and I know you've said you actually don't want us to make the top four, and you've given your prediction already. What do you think is the best outcome? We don't make the top four. Ronaldo goes. What's the best outcome for you?
I think, yeah, don't make the top four. Just because it wakes people up there. I don't think it matters if we make top four or not in terms of bringing in talent. I think Ronaldo's one
Yeah,
step out the door anyway. It's time to the people's con. There's about half a dozen players that are running down their contracts. I think
Yeah,
just let them go and start structuring from the top. So what I mean by the top, the director of football to the manager, and just have a plan. You know what I mean? Have a okay. We want to play this style of play. This is what the manager wants to play. These are the player he need. These are the players he needs to play this system, this style. Let's go get them. Let's not go for the shiny toy. Let's get the players this manager needs to play the
yeah,
system he wants to play. Whoever manager comes in. So for me, that's the only way United can start to get on the right track of competing for titles and stuff like that. Like, I don't think we're going to compete for a title next year, maybe not even the year after that, but we need to start from the break. And yeah, just really, yeah, it's like a rebuild
yeah.
again. So
Well,
yeah,
to be honest, I really think they missed a beat over there when the whole Super League thing was happening, and they got the game against Liverpool called off, and they were protesting. Excuse me. I think even when United backtracked out of that, the supporters should have kept protesting to just push to get the Glazers out of the club. Joe Glazer comes out and does a Zoom call and apologizes, and it's like all of our fans said, "Okay, no worries, you apologized. You're going to buy Varane, we're happy," which is it's stupidity,
mm,
really. Like the only way United are going forward is with them out of the club. Like with those,
mm,
they're just
definitely.
I've said it so many times, and they're parasites. Like, and they don't care about United.
I mean, that's the problem. They're not. That's not going to change, not in the next
Exactly. So we'll
foreseeable
never win a
future
title.
anyway. So we have to start from the Yeah, so we have to start from the director of football down because the
Yeah,
owners aren't
that's
going
right.
to change. So the board's going to stay the same. They're still going to siphon money out the club, and they tend to spend more money when we don't make top four because like,
We got to
oh
get back into the
shit,
top
let's
four.
get
Yeah.
back in the top four. Yeah, so they just need to back their manager, whoever they appoint, and yeah, you back a manager for a reason. You back him because you believe in his play, is in his system. So, we're Manchester United. We've got a lot of wages getting freed up over the summer. So, yeah, reinvest into the new manager
Yeah, I
and the
agree.
club.
Well, so there's a lot of obviously there's people that are going to go. We know Lingard's going to go. Pogba's at the end of his contract. Henderson's going because he wants to go. Where do you stand on Pogba? Would you rather he signed?
No, I think it hasn't worked out for Pogba at Man United. I think he's a good player. I think when his next club,
Yeah,
he's going to shine. I bet you. Like we'll be saying, oh wow, look at Pogba. Why didn't he do it at Man United? That's what
yeah,
that's what the headline's going to be. But I just think it hasn't worked out for him at Man United. We have to go in a different direction without Pogba, and we have to look past Ronaldo as well because he's not going to be
yeah.
here forever either. So United have to be in for a striker because looks like Martial
Apparently he's
is on the
injured
outer
anyway.
rim.
Apparently he's not back till late March
Yeah,
for
you know what I
Sevilla.
mean.
So
Every
yeah,
year he gets injured as well. You know what I mean. You can't get a full season. It's a bit like Harry Kane.
yeah.
He gets injured all the time now, and you need to find a durable striker. There's some really good ones in Serie A that I really like as well.
There's this good young one in Serie
Um,
A, Ibrahim or something. I don't know. He's champion.
he's
Dude,
still
he's
going, isn't he?
crazy, bro. I saw this clip
He's
of him the other
crazy.
day. He had his
He's
legs
crazy.
around a punching bag and he was lifting himself up doing sit-ups.
I think he's
I
like
think he's hit
38,
40. I think he's
39 or
40.
something.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Wow. You know what I mean? He's
Oh
up in the
man, it's
gigs
crazy.
realm now. Yeah. So look. I think there's some bargains to
They were
get
talking to
in
Isaac.
this
I heard they're talking to
coming up. There's a
Isaac
lot of
today.
contract. Yeah, like I
Yeah.
like Isaac from a while back, and they're talking about him. He won't be too
Yeah.
expensive, I don't think. But he seems like that type of body that is
Yeah, I
perfect for
agree.
Premier
I
League.
agree.
But Man United got better scouts than
Do,
myself. You know what I mean? So if
but,
I can see a
do
talent,
they? But, John, do they?
exactly. It's easy to say, oh, get
Yeah.
Haaland or get, you know what I mean? But you get those hidden gems who
Yeah.
really want to shine. That's what
Well, you
needs
look
to be
back on it. I
done.
know obviously it's a different time, but like, look at some of the people that like. Alex Ferguson brought in that just went on to be absolute guns of like strikers. Like obviously Andy Cole was a proven goal scorer who went and got him. You know what I mean? That was whatever. That was alright. But he went and got Eric Cantona. No one thought he was going to do what he did for Man United. Even Dwight York. No one thought Dwight York
Mm,
was going to be what he was for us, and he was a gun. You know what I mean? He went and got Teddy Sheringham when
mm,
he was 35. Wins a treble with him. He wins PFA Player
mm.
of the Year. Like, what's wrong with getting? Why do we have to go for the shiny new toy? Is sort of what I'm saying.
Well, it's the modern money maker now for Man United. If they get a Haaland and that straight away, their shirt
Yeah,
sales have gone ballistic. Their Twitter page, their Instagram
yeah,
page is blowing
and
up,
that's
and
what they
that's
want,
just
isn't it?
money. That's revenue coming in. It almost pays for itself and then some. I mean, everyone was complaining that we got Ronaldo
Yeah,
in
but
for
he's
the
paid for
wages he's
everything.
on. How much money Ronaldo, money
Of
Ronaldo's made
course,
for Man United just being there? They don't care. Like, oh,
of
we'll pay
course,
you that because
of
we'll
course.
get
It's like
double
when I look
back.
back to it. Look at Liverpool, right? When they bought Luis Suarez from Ajax. So it wasn't this guy from Barcelona or something. He was this guy from Ajax that was an up and comer. He came and blitzed, and they sell him for God knows how much to. Same with us. We go and
Mm,
get Ronaldo for 12 million, sell him for 100 million. Like
mm,
it's where are those players again?
mm.
Why
There's a lot of
can't we
talk
be
about
doing that again? Find something that's even a manager. Get a young and up and coming
mm,
manager that's going to be there for the long haul. That's got a good CV, not like Ole just because he's your friend. Like,
yeah. It's hard to believe that we are getting linked to players without
yeah, oh,
deciding on the manager. So
it
that's a bit
is.
worrying as well. And I don't want to see a signing player. You always
Of
want to see
course.
signings, right? But if you're going to get signings in January, then you kind of think, okay, Rangnick
Yeah,
might
but the
get the
thing is,
job.
the
You know
only
what I
thing I
mean?
say about
But
that is
because
if
they
he's
did,
meant to become the director of football, surely he's allowed to sign a player.
yeah, well, that's another point. If he's got a say on who's coming in
Yeah.
after being manager, then and he wanted a defensive midfielder, I heard. They didn't back him, and you could have got
I
Zachary
think it
for
was
8 million,
five.
who
I
went
think
to
it was five.
Juventus,
Yeah.
5 million, and he's actually playing really well. So if that's a
Yeah.
bargain going there, like 5 million, you know,
Yeah.
that's just a month's wages for Ronaldo. You could have got a player, but yeah. So Man United got a big summer transfer coming up. They're going to have to swap and change a lot of things, and do we have the confidence of the board pulling it off? No,
I don't
I don't
know.
have the confidence. So I think it's going to be in stages. It'll be every summer. If they get it right for the next couple summers, then
Yeah.
maybe we have a chance of
Yeah. Yeah.
being up there again.
Rob says the scouts should have been out at the Euros, like Champions League games, etc. There's plenty of talent. Like,
Apparently, we've got the
oh yeah,
biggest
right.
scouting pool in the world.
Yeah, it's
Apparently.
all. Well, I heard today. So the new CEO, Richard Arnold, come out and he said he said this today. So I don't know. You take his word. Is obviously going to be proven to be a liar or not because he came out and said, "I want a manager in place pretty much straight when the season's done."
Well, the sooner the better. So he's got more time to work with the players he's got than the vision
So,
that's put
but
in
that to
place.
me
So he's
means, John, that
100%
to
right.
me means he's saying a week, 2 weeks after the season's done, there should be a permanent manager. So if there's not, that
Mm.
means he's lying to us again.
And he should be open with Ralph as well. So listen, we're honouring the contract we've
Yeah,
given you from the get go that you're here for the 6 months, and as an
yeah,
advisory role after that. And soon as the season's over, you're changing
yeah,
positions, and we're going to
yeah.
appoint the new manager. So and then yeah, go from there. Like whoever it is, Ten Hag, Pochettino, whoever, just yeah, make the decision and back him. That's the most important thing is to
Well,
back that
your
manager
your mate's
properly.
free now, man. He got sacked.
Which
Bielsa.
one? No, it's not my. Yeah, my father-in-law's happy.
Is
He's
he actually
Leeds
happy though? Because
man,
they
and
love him. Apparently they're
I
losing
was
it over
talk.
there.
Nah, well, my father-in-law was happy. I was saying to him about just after the Man United game, we go, this, he's not going to last long. They're going to have to sack him
Yeah,
to try and get a manager boost because they're going to get
yeah.
relegated. You know what I mean? So they might love him, but I reckon if they
I
kept
actually
him, they're
think
going to
they
get
got. I said it
relegated.
to you last week. I think they're done because they got
Yeah,
injuries, bro.
I mean, it could. A new manager. They got this
Yeah,
German guy coming now, so you never
yeah,
know. Manager boost. They need 5 wins. If they
yeah.
get 5 wins, they're safe. If
Well,
not,
I'll
I
let
reckon
you
they're
answer
gone.
this question from Rob, man. He says, which high quality coaches will be available?
Well, Pochettino is not available, but he wants to come back and he wants to
Yeah.
manage Man United. But available ones, geez, off the top of my head, there's not many, top
Yeah.
quality. So, is Arsene Wenger retired?
Well, in saying that, I listen, players just like managers, just like players, they're all available for everyone's got a price. Pretty much, you say to United, the only blokes that don't have a price would be Jurgen Klopp and Guardiola. That's the way I look at it.
Hmm.
Everyone else, they're going to have to buy him out of a
Yeah.
contract if they want him. So there's talk of Ten Hag. Listen, he's doing very good at Ajax. Does that transfer over to the Premier League? We won't know until it's tried. Pochettino, again, same thing, doing very good with PSG, whether people want to say he's doing good or not. He's 15 points clear. And, you know, I thought they destroyed Real Madrid the other day, even though it was only 1-0. And then there's talk of Luis Enrique, but he's not going to take the job because the World Cup's not till December this year. So you rule him out.
Hmm.
And the only other one I can say with
Hmm.
the way he's been talking and the way he's been acting is Conte. He's been acting real stiff to Tottenham in the some of his interviews the other day.
Hmm.
But you know,
I think we can write off Conte because I think it's known that Man
exactly,
United don't want to
exactly.
do business with Conte. So, um, for what reasons, they have for their own. But yeah, there's not many free
No,
managers out and about. You would have to pull one out of a club and yeah, pay a compensation
that's right.
fee. And yeah, that's. But majority of managers would
Of
want to
course,
coach Man United, regardless of the club status. So, same
of
with like
course, of
Liverpool's
course.
and stuff like that. The historic clubs. Man City maybe one day,
So what
but
about
not
then if we
right.
go back to say we go back to let's go back to a year ago or something. What about Zinedine Zidane's not in a job? He's one. That's just one name.
Is he? He's
He's
already
made it
made it
clear.
clear though.
But then there'll be someone that you actually like that I actually think's not going to be in a job at the end of the year, and I think that's Carlo Ancelotti.
Yeah, yeah, I think he can work with most teams. You know what I
I
mean?
actually
He
think
he
he's
can
not
do
going to be in
well.
a job. He'll win the league, but that's not a
Mm.
given. But he's definitely not winning the Champions League, and I actually think he's going to get the sack. And I think they'll go for Pochettino or something.
Yeah, I think Ancelotti is a good fit. I think I do like how the way he plays, and he's a great man manager. And I've seen him get the best out of majority of the
Yeah,
clubs he's taken over. So he's been around the block now, and
yeah.
he's very experienced. And I would not be upset if
No, no,
we were
me neither.
Ancelotti. That's for
Well,
sure.
if Rob says maybe look at an international coach, and then I'm trying to think of them all off the top of but so then I said Zidane, right? We've said Ten Hag, we've said Ancelotti. Is it too early to be putting the names of any of these new managers like, Patrick Vieira's, Wayne Rooney's? Is it too early for them for a job like that?
I think Wayne Rooney's still
Yeah,
learning his craft and he's doing well where he is. So if he proves to do really good at Derby with the
all
funds and
that
all that system, all
situation.
the
Yeah,
nonsense that's going on there, I love to see Rooney go to one more club and
yeah.
then come to us. Um, so maybe a bit of Premier League experience, say at a mid-table, like an
Wouldn't it,
Everton would
wouldn't
have
it be
been
funny if he
ideal.
goes to Everton and then we take him from them as a manager as well?
Yeah, it would be hilarious. But he loves
He
Everton and
does.
he
He
loves
says it. He
United.
says they're
So
both in my heart. Like he's so honest about it.
yeah, yeah. So I think he's got. I don't like the idea of him
Yeah, I
coming from
agree.
Derby to Man United. I think he's just
I agree.
one more club in. But there's always up and coming
Yeah.
managers, and they say Ten Hag is the latest one. Um, but yeah, you know what I mean. I don't think we can afford to give an inexperienced rather than Ancelotti than
Oh,
a Rooney
definitely,
right now,
definitely.
if that
Yeah, yeah,
makes
I agree.
sense. Yeah. So
So I'll
yeah.
put that question
Um,
back to Rob. Rob knows probably the coaching better than us. What coaches do you think are out there that could take the job, Rob? I'll put that back to you while you answer that. Um, so do you think, let's say, like I said, you think it's done for Zidane? Do you think he's waiting for France or PSG? That's what I think.
yeah, definitely. I think I reckon they wanted Zidane to come in instead of Ralph.
Yeah,
Zidane would have got Pogba on board. He would
yeah,
have, you know what I mean? It would have, Zidane's here.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? It would have been a bigger spark. Sell a lot more papers than
yeah,
Ralph. Um, but Zidane said his wife doesn't want to move
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
Manchester, doesn't want to come to England, and you know what I mean. And if your wife doesn't want to go,
yeah.
and money's not an issue, you ain't going. You know what I mean? And he'll get a job in France. He might
That's
even
what
take over the France
that's what I
international
reckon.
job
That's what I
after the
think he's
World
waiting
Cup.
for.
So yeah, you know what I mean. And the
Yeah,
international job is cozy. You know what I mean. Half the time you're just watching
yeah.
players, scouting, really.
Rob
So
says,
yeah, I mean, who wouldn't
sorry,
want to
keep
be?
going.
Who would
Yeah, no, exactly. Rob says Rooney will replace Lampard before the year is out. That's a prediction he's saying. And you know what?
before the year is out?
Do you know what though? I
Sack.
actually don't think. Do you mean the season or the year, Rob?
Well, give him the
Because
year because if he does this season, he two sackings in one season
but you know
is
what? I actually don't think it's as far fetched as we think. Because I actually think Lampard is really going to struggle. I've seen the. I honestly think he could be the first manager to take Everton down. Their fixture list is out of this world.
Mm. I mean, Everton not got not a bad squad. They got some good players. So
Yeah.
it's just hard to. I wouldn't mind that Richarlison, but
Yeah, he's good. And he's got a bit of
it's good. But obviously he's not in the greatest form this season. But I've seen
yeah.
some good,
I know
you
he's a
know,
good player.
good player. But
Even Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin was ripping it for Ancelotti.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Everton in all sorts. And is Lampard the one to turn it around? Who was Lampard's first club that he was
Derby,
managing?
Derby.
Derby,
Yeah, yeah.
that's right. And he
But
did
he
well at
no,
Derby.
but he had them. Here's what everyone's saying. He had them when they had money coming out of their ass, let's say, and
He got him to
he spent big and he finished
playoff,
sixth. He finished sixth. So he didn't actually
playoffs and
do
stuff.
as good as everyone expected him to do, but he got to the playoff, lost to Leeds, I think, and then he took Chelsea, and that, the rest was history. Rob says the year post World Cup, and I agree with him. I reckon that's a good prediction. At the end of not the season, the year. He's saying. I agree. I think Lampard will be done.
Yeah, well, I do think Rooney will manage Everton. I think
Yeah, I
that
think
would
he will.
be if Rooney keeps proving that he's a good manager
Yeah,
at the Championship level.
yeah,
The next stepping stone is at Everton. It'd be a great move.
yeah.
But yeah, I don't rate Lampard. Obviously,
No, I don't. I actually don't. I don't think he's a very good manager.
I think Solskjaer got the best of Lampard,
He
so that
did.
says a lot.
Exactly right. Hey,
So there
Father
you
Jim
go.
is in the chat, man. He says hello.
Amen, amen.
He says JG could pass for Father John with that beauty of a beard.
Fatherhood's just getting me slack, Jimmy. You
That's
know what I
it.
mean? So I got the Phillips head charging, so I'll do it tomorrow.
That's it. So Rob says there's Allegri, like Xavi, like question mark with him. I don't think Xavi because he just took the Barca job and he loves
Mm,
Barca, doesn't he? And
mm,
Allegri has only just taken the Juventus job again, hasn't he? So,
mm.
like that's why Rob's put question marks there. And then he says
Yeah.
Everton, even the referees hate them. And he's agreeing with you. He says, I think Ancelotti is United's best bet. Because I think he'll get the sack from Madrid. I think he'll be free.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll sell papers if that's what they think as well. But
I mean, he's won three
I,
Champions Leagues, John, hasn't he?
I reckon it for me is the type of manager who will steady the ship,
Yeah,
and
that's what
he
I
will,
think.
you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
he can manage the big egos. If we have any big egos left after this summer,
Yeah.
um, So
Do you know what the problem is? I think we're going to be left with these people that have big egos but have no right to have a big ego.
yeah, I mean, it's the modern day football. They're millionaires, multi-millionaires. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So what comes that is, you know, top shit. You know, you think you're the best.
yeah,
So it's different to back in the day when you were still on good money, but you were working hard for it, and you played for the badge,
yeah,
and you weren't a mercenary. So
yeah. But you know what I say to that? Like, listen, it's like, let's just use Ronaldo for example. If anyone thinks Ronaldo's not going to have an ego, they're dreaming. I mean, he's one of the best players that's lived. He's going to have an ego, isn't he?
well,
Like,
that's what helps him be the best.
exactly. But then you got these other people like, let's say, Maguire, even Rashford at the moment. These guys that are bang out of form and have really done nothing in the game. They've got
Mm,
egos at United because they think they
mm,
play for Man United. They've got an ego, but they've got no right to have egos because
yeah,
they've done nothing in the game yet.
yeah. I mean, you know, to Maguire, for him to have an ego just makes me
I
laugh.
mean, he's been relegated before.
Yeah, you know what I
Like,
mean. He should be thanking his lucky stars that he plays for Man
yeah,
United. Really, like,
100%.
I wonder if he's in bed at night saying, "How the fuck did I pull this off?" Like, they paid 80 million for
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Like,
I know, I know.
seriously,
So,
he'll go down as one of the shittest transfers we've
oh,
ever done.
definitely. And they've
Yeah.
all come in the last, whatever. Obviously, Sanchez is going to go down as one of our worst transfers ever, and Maguire.
Mm.
And, you know, it's
See,
funny. We
people say
took,
Di Maria now, but Di Maria we recouped a lot of it,
that's
even though
right.
he, you know, and same with Lukaku. You know what I mean? We recoup
All
most
of
of
it,
it. You
I
know what I
think,
mean? We're
all of it.
talking about these big transfers
Yeah.
now that didn't work out, but we recouped our money. We're recouping with Maguire.
No way.
You know what I mean?
Isn't it funny? We bought Sanchez and he was the best player in the Premier League, wasn't he, at the time?
It's like a plane crash. As soon as he come to the club,
Yeah.
he went from top flight to just
But
zero
then he
in a
came
matter of
out. This is what
weeks.
cracks me up the most. He came out and said, after he went to Inter, he said, I went to Man United for one training and I asked my agent if I could rip up the contract and go back to Arsenal. He goes, because the inner workings of the club, he goes, were a mess. So what does that say about us? What
Mm.
was it as much his fault or was it more the club's fault?
I heard he wanted to rip
Yeah,
up
he
that
said he
contract,
goes, it
but
was an absolute shambles being that he just, and when you got a top star that's performed for country, all the clubs he's played for say that, and then he just is bang average for you. When you know he's
mm,
better, what is that
mm,
saying about your club?
mm.
Like
I mean, he did well at Barca, he did well at Arsenal,
He was
and
doing well at Udinese before all them. He did well everywhere.
mm,
He even done well at Inter when he went there.
with us,
It's
it's
just,
just one of those things. It's like the United jinx. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
big
We just
time.
make people shit. So
It's just yeah, it just makes you wonder what's going on in the club. But so we touched on the players that are leaving. Now, apparently, there's a few players that are in the same situations, contracts running up, that we want to look at. And the couple names that I'll give you is Tielemans has said he doesn't want to sign a contract with Leicester. Would you go for him? And Antonio Rudiger is at the end of his contract at the end of the year. Would you go for him? Would you make a play for them?
I would definitely. I think Tielemans is gettable, but I do think Rudiger will go back to
Yeah,
Germany. Um, you know, he's got Bayern Munich written all over
yeah, doesn't he?
that one.
He does.
But yeah, Tielemans, I would. I think it's a really, really good midfield. I was spewing when Leicester got
Yeah,
him,
ahead of
and
us.
it was just like it was so bluntly to see, get Tielemans. We need a
Yeah,
midfielder, and
apparently,
we
we
let him go
wanted him and
to.
didn't get him. That's the worst part.
Yeah, I think he went to Leicester for like 20 something or whatever
Yeah,
it was.
yeah,
And then the next one after one season, we're getting linked to him for 80
yeah.
million, and I was just
This
like,
is ridiculous.
typical United.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So
I agree. I'd definitely go for him. And I'd actually, if there's a chance, I'd have my agents out there, whatever it is, the people. If there's a chance to make a play for Rudiger, I'd make a play for him too because I think Rudiger
oh, don't
and
get me wrong,
Varane
I'd
would
love.
be excellent. But I agree. I think he's got
Yeah,
Bayern Munich written all over him.
yeah. I mean, if you could pull it off and get him, and by all means get
Yeah,
him. But yeah, I think it'll be a tough one. I think there'll be because there'll be just so many clubs interested after
yeah,
Rudiger.
yeah, definitely.
And would he really want to go to Chelsea to United? I don't know.
Yeah,
But I think Tielemans, yeah, I think if we do make a play, he's
yeah,
gettable. But there's a lot of bargains to be made. You could really get 5 or 6 players in for 60, 70 million. That
yeah,
really, you know what I mean? But United won't do that because it doesn't sell papers. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So they need a shiny toy in their transfer window. So that player, who
Yeah.
knows? Who knows who it could be?
Well, Rob said exactly what you're saying. He's agreeing with you completely. Says Tielemans, yes, Rudiger will return to Germany. So obviously, a lot of people
Yeah,
believe in the same thing. And then Rob said about the United players on loan. So I mean, who is there? There's Martial. Garner is apparently doing real well with Nottingham Forest. Diallo's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
well
They
at
talked about
Rangers, I've
him.
heard.
Is
Yeah,
he?
apparently scored on his debut, so he's doing well. Can they come back and be first teamers for you? I mean, I think Martial's ship has sailed.
Chong, I don't know what he's doing, but
I think
I
he's in
mean,
Portugal.
I don't know if Chong's going to ever be up to scratch. Jimmy Gardner, I think, could be a squad player
Yeah,
and a pretty good squad player. I just haven't seen him personally. I've just heard that he's doing good
yeah,
things at
Nottingham
Nottingham
Forest. Yeah.
Forest. And Diallo looks like an exciting player. I think he's one of those talents that you build on. You have him in your team. He's a
Well, I
talented
mean, he's
player.
scored
So
goals for us in the Champions League already, and now he's on loan at Rangers. Like,
yeah, exactly
so
right. So I think, yeah, like you said, I think Martial's ship has sailed.
yeah, I think so.
Unfortunately, because I do like Martial, but I think he's a manager killer. You know what I mean? He'll let down any manager. He'll show glimpses of a superstar and then go on a cold run, then get injured and
Yeah.
just put you into all sorts of
Is,
mess. So
isn't it funny, Van Gaal bought him, and really Van Gaal got the best out of him, didn't he? That first year, we thought we are looking at something. He was going to be a
yeah,
phenomenon, wasn't he?
yeah, like we were really excited about
I think
Tony
he scored
Marshall,
18
and
goals in that year, and he was only 18. Like, we were like, this kid, there's something here.
yeah, he became like my
Oh,
favorite player. You know what
because
I
he
mean?
scored against
Like
Liverpool on debut. How can he not be?
exactly. You know what I mean? And it's not easy for me to love a
Oh,
player. As much as I loved him. Um, I've got my favorites now, obviously, but yeah, he was definitely up there
well, we're definitely
when
like
it comes
you
to.
always say. We're career killers, aren't we?
Oh, definitely career killers. I mean, Donny will tell you all about
Well,
that,
he's
and
the
it
other
just
one I was
goes
going
to
to
show.
mention. He's the other one on loan. Can he come back and play?
No,
Not even with a new manager? You think he's done?
no.
What about Ten
I
Hag? Ten
think, I
Hag
think,
has managed him at Ajax. Is that the only
I don't
way he
know.
plays for United if Ten Hag gets the job?
Like, I'm surprised that Delo came back and played. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It seems like United don't give those chances to
yeah.
loanees, and they never do. So I think Delo has, if he's changed the times, of players coming back from loan and actually playing, then maybe Donny has a chance.
Yeah.
But I don't know how he's playing at Everton. I heard he played one good game, but I haven't heard it much
I mean,
since.
they lost
So
to City 1-0. I don't know. Like, yeah, he had a good game. That other one before that. It's only been three
is he
games.
is he
Yeah, he's
starting?
starting, but he's only played 2 or 3 games. So, but the only way I see him playing is if Ten Hag gets the job because Ten Hag's managed him. That's the
Yeah,
only way I see it
yeah. Well,
happening.
yeah. I mean, it's got the Dutch connection there as
Yeah.
well. So
So, but that's it. That's the only way I see him come back and playing. But I mean, let's look at it here before we go. What's the fixture list like here?
yeah, I was thought we had Atletico Madrid midweek. That's why he made those changes, and I'm like, okay, he's probably resting some players,
Yeah.
but obviously we're not playing midweek, and
So I
yeah.
actually think you're right. It's the 28th today. We're not playing for 8 days. The next game is the Manchester Derby, 7th of March.
Well, that's interesting. So the team he put out was pretty much his first choice
Yeah.
team. So
So I'll give you
it's
I'll
good to
give you a
see.
few fixtures, and obviously we'll probably be live before these happen, but it's City United on the 7th, United Tottenham on the 13th, then the Champions League, and then Liverpool United. They're our next 4 games. City, Tottenham, Atletico, Liverpool.
Well, it's hard. Look, it's a derby game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got
So
two derbies in there, don't we?
it,
Liverpool and City.
yeah, I mean, anything could happen. I think if you're a betting man, you bet on Man City,
Yeah,
right? So But it doesn't rule us out from getting something out of this game. Just because it's, you know, players live differently for these types of games. It's a bit like a Crows and Port game, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Where
yeah,
Crows are shit and Port are good, but Crows actually make a game out
yeah,
of
of
it and
course.
almost beat them.
Yeah,
So, um, look, I think City will win.
yep,
I think we'll get. I think we'll go through after Atletico. We'll get some sort of result against Atletico
yeah. I
and
think
go
we
to
will
the
too.
next
I
round.
think we will too.
I'll say we'll. I'll say we'll get something out of the
That's
Tottenham
at home.
game.
That's at Old Trafford, Tottenham, and then
Yeah,
Liverpool away.
I think we're getting done by Liverpool.
Yeah, so I agree.
I think we might get. I think it might be ugly against Liverpool.
I agree. I think it'll be definitely two losses, City, and yeah, I think Liverpool could be ugly. Yeah, I agree. Unless, listen, if he is being told who to pick and he puts Maguire back in, I think it's ugly because with Varane and Lindelof, we had a lot more cover at the back.
If he starts Maguire,
Yeah,
we're
we're
done.
done. We're done. Reborn says it's four
In
four losses then,
in all
man.
four of the, in all four of those games,
Reborn says
if he starts Maguire in
we're
all
looking at
four of
four
those
losses
games,
for you. He says.
we're looking at four
Yeah, that's
losses.
what Reborn says. He's saying four losses. We're up to four losses. But yeah, listen, I think we can beat Tottenham at Old Trafford, but it's no given. And I think we'll beat Madrid. I don't think they're that good, Atletico, and we can nowhere
Nah,
near play as bad as we did. There's no away goals anymore. So,
nah. I think we might get a 1-0
but yeah,
against them.
just looking at that, I mean Liverpool beat us 5-0 at Old Trafford, didn't they? And then after that we got Leicester and Everton. So it's.
After this run, we'll just be focusing on the Champions League. Put it this way.
Yeah, that's right. And then we'll see who we get. Knowing us, we'll probably get Liverpool in the next round. So, but
You never know. You
yeah.
never know on a knockout.
Oh,
You never
that's
know on a
right. You never
knockout.
know. But yeah, on that note, we've touched on everything, and I mean we don't have a game for 8 days, but the next game is the Manchester Derby, which is always a massive game for us, and obviously we want United to win more than anything, but it's gonna be it's gonna be hard, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely going to be hard. It's going to be
But we won there last year. We did. We've won, I think, the
yeah.
last 2 years at the Etihad.
I think United will make more of this game than they will to Liverpool for some reason. I got a
Yeah, I
feeling. I
agree.
think it'll be closer in the City game than it will Liverpool game. I still think Man City will probably win,
Yeah.
but
What I think it is because City, even at Old Trafford, they smashed us, but it was only 2 or 3-0, whereas Liverpool was 5-0 because I think Liverpool, with their style of players, Salah, Mane, they really go for the jugular, whereas City
mm,
want to kill you with 1,000 cuts. You know what I mean? Touch, 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 touch,
definitely.
touch, and that.
Bit more respectful to City.
I agree. I think it
They're a
will.
bit
I
more
think it will.
respectful.
I agree. I'm with you on that. But yeah, so
They don't want to embarrass us. They want to
that's
keep
right.
the
They
status
want us to
quo.
look good, so it's we keep our
Yeah, so
managers
nothing
and
changes. You know what I mean? Oh, you only lost 2-1 to
yeah,
City.
you're
You know what I
good,
mean? It's
you're
all
good.
good. Keep it going. The train
Oh
continues.
Jesus, we're taking the Mickey out of our own team now. But
That's what we
I
can
know.
do.
All right, well that was a good show. So I'm sure we'll come back next week with some good stories for United. That's just what we do. But thanks to everyone in the chat, Rob, Reborn, Jimmy, Team Adelaide, everyone that was there. Watch along the derby, Rob says. It's 3 a.m.
Oh, jeez. What day?
It is the 7th. Let me have a look. Got it here. So 7th. It's 3 a.m. Monday.
What's
It's
that,
Monday
Monday?
morning.
Wow. Well, I won't be working, so I could pull it off, but it's
I
very
know
late.
it's a weird time in there. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
We'll be falling asleep on a
Yeah,
laptop
I
if
know.
the watch long might finish early if we're losing.
But yeah, no, definitely watch it. But then, are there any other? Let me have a look. Well, before we go,
We should do a watch long with Rob Drusetta and Rob in the
yeah.
watch long.
Well, we'll see. You know what we actually might do? We could call it here. If John's not working, we may do a watch along for the Champions League game, 6th of March, 6:30 a.m. 16th, sorry, 6:30 a.m.
I might be free. I
Because
might be free.
the Tottenham game is 4 a.m. The Liverpool game's 3 a.m. as well.
Yeah, that's the price of living in
But
Australia, I
Everton
guess.
Man United, it says 9th of April,
Yeah.
9 p.m.
Yeah. Oh,
Because the
9 p.m.
clocks may be
game.
going back April. Is that correct?
Possibly, possibly.
See, Reborn touched on a good point here, man. He just said this. He said, "Do us a favor and beat City." I'll put this question to you. Is it more important for United that they make the top four, or is it more important that City win the title and Liverpool don't?
Oh, jeez. I mean, we keep this mindset of let's let City win instead of Liverpool. City's just going to end up
Yeah,
catching us.
I know. I know.
I mean, give it
I
give it 20
know.
years
I
of
know.
catching us.
You know what? I would actually take not being in the top four so Liverpool don't win the title.
Yeah, I know. We can only have so many of these seasons
Yeah, I
though. We're
know.
going to
I know.
start have to be winning it
I know.
ourselves. So, um, yeah, I get what you mean. Reborn. I would rather City win the league than you guys
Oh,
win.
it's
Sorry,
unfortunate. You know
so
what? Listen, they're our local derby, but we hate Liverpool more, don't we? It's a fact. Like it's
we do, we do. You know, everyone says Man City's around the corner, but we
of
still
course
hate
we do,
Liverpool
of
more.
course. So yeah, so we'll see, guys. If John is not working, we'll probably do a watch along for the Champions League. 6:30 a.m. is a perfect time for us. We like those times. So
Maybe Rob
yeah,
wants to
we'll
come
see.
along.
We'll get him in. We'll get it in. We'll see how it's going. And yeah, on that note, thanks for everyone for being here, and we'll see you on the next one. See you later, guys.
See you guys.